Hey everybody, welcome to Face the Music. Look, if you're not a subscriber, do me a quick favor, would you? Reach on over, hit that subscribe button, join this big family. Let's keep all this great music alive together, okay? While you're at it, set up your notifications so whenever I drop a new episode, you'll be among the first to know. Okay, so today we've got that great band Journey. And let me just tell you, I've featured a few episodes from these guys on this channel before. I've done Faithfully, I've done Winds of March, I featured Open Arms from their Live at Budokan concert back in 1983. And a couple months ago, I did one. It was After All These Years, live in Las Vegas, featuring their current lead singer, Arnel Pineda. Now, let me just tell you this. And I've mentioned this on some of my other episodes featuring Journey. There's always going to be this big, doesn't have to be an argument, but there's always going to be this conversation. There's always going to be this debate about who's the best lead singer of Journey. Is it Steve Perry or is it Arnel Pineda? Let's also not forget Steve Augeri, who came in after Steve Perry, before Pineda. He was a great singer in his own right, but I don't know that I would put him up there with in the class of Perry and Pineda for sure, just because of how long he was with the band and all of that. When you talk about the impact that Steve Perry had on the band, and of course you talk about the amazing story with Arnel Pineda, I would have to say probably at least the conversation has to be between those two. For me personally, and I've said this before, and I don't think that I've changed my mind on this at all, at this point, I think I'd have to go with Steve Perry. I know there's a lot of people out there who go with Arnel Pineda. Hey, and you're more than welcome to do that. I understand 100%, whichever way you want to go with it. There's a lot of folks from the Philippines who really love Arnel Pineda. I've actually seen some comments on that one video, which up to this point has gotten over 22,000 views. It's like, I think, one of the highest viewed videos that I've actually put on this channel. Not necessarily a lot in comparison to a lot of other channels, but I haven't been around that long. But it's just amazing to me that, the comments and what I see people talking about, and even folks from the Philippines who don't necessarily see Pineda as their guy, they see Perry. So there's this back and forth even, between folks from the Philippines. But just overall international commentary, people, their own ideas, their own thoughts. There's just this debate, this conversation, as I said, between whether it's Perry or Pineda. I think an argument can be made in a number of different ways. Perry came along and just made a huge impact and a huge turnaround to the band back when he was their lead singer. Pineda has done the same thing, revived them, and kept them going even on into the current day. So again, not going to argue about, I can see, I should say, an argument or a debate, whatever you want to call it, a conversation, one way or the other, for either of these guys. Again, personally, I fall in the Steve Perry camp. But today's footage is going to be Open Arms. I don't know exactly. It's a live. It's live concert footage. I don't know exactly when it was filmed, but this does feature Arnel Pineda. I know the song Open Arms, of course. I've never seen this particular footage because I haven't really seen a whole lot of footage featuring Arnel Pineda. So no more talking. Let's get right on into it. I'm really looking forward to this. Here is Journey live in concert with Arnel Pineda and Open Arms. I always recognize the song as soon as I see Jonathan Cain right here. When I hear this piece right here, I know it.
Lying beside here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat with mine. Softly you whisper, you're so sincere. How could our love be so blind? We sailed on together, we drifted apart, and here you are by my side. So now I come to you with open arms, nothing to hide. Believe what I'll say. So here I am with open arms, hoping you see what your love means to me. Open arms.
Very nice. Very good. He really is a tremendous vocalist. Absolutely.
Living without
Absolutely. Wow, that was really fantastic. Arnel, Pineda, and Journey live in concert and Open Arms. And I think I said at the outset that I wasn't sure what concert that footage was taken from because I hadn't seen the footage before. But after watching it through, as we were watching it together, and I was looking at them and I was looking at the outfits that they were wearing and everything, and I believe it was probably taken from that same Las Vegas concert that After All These Years was taken from. I believe that's probably correct. I'd have to go back and see, but I think that's probably the case. In any event, great performance, great vocalist, and it was great to see all the other members of the band too, of course. And I mentioned this in the video itself. If you look at Jonathan Cain during parts of the song, he was smiling at Arnel. He knows that they've got a gold mine in this guy. Doing the song, doing the Journey music justice, just like Steve Perry would have done. You had Dean Castronovo behind the drums, Steve Smith no longer with the band, of course, and then you had, of course, Ross Valerie on bass, and the great Neil Schon on guitar. To see all those guys together and being able to still do their thing with a great vocalist who really doesn't diminish at all from their catalog, from their great music history, and a great vocalist like Arnel Pineda. And it may just be something more to do with the era that I grew up in and just being used to in the 80s, seeing Journey and just, connecting them with Steve Perry and all those great albums and all those great songs. I'm not 100% convinced that, unfortunately, as great as he is, I'm not sure that Journey has had the at least album success that they had with Steve Perry with Arnel. There may be a lot of factors to that. There's a lot of variables to things like that, right? But again, I'm sure concert-wise that they probably still do very well. Of course, with Steve Perry, you had not only the concert factor, but you had all the great albums from the 80s and stuff that they put out. And even, after that, there is actually, their album, Trial by Fire, that came out way after a lot of those 80s albums, like Escape, Raised on Radio, Infinity, all those great records. And that Trial by Fire, great one too, featuring Steve Perry. But in any case, this isn't about Steve Perry. This episode is all about Arnel and what a great vocalist he is. Again, I'm going to go ahead and fall on the Steve Perry side of things, but I will accept everyone's comments and criticisms to that, and I welcome your other side of the view, so to speak, because there's definitely a case that can be made for that as well. Okay, I really enjoyed watching that episode and seeing Arnel doing his thing with a great Journey classic, and I hope that you did as well. Okay, so now that's it for today's episode. If you're not a subscriber, as I said at the outset, do me a favor, hit subscribe, also hit like, hit share, and check down below. I've got a hashtag facethemusicreactions. If you click on that, it'll redirect you to another page where I've got all my previous episodes, all my previous content there. I'm sure you'll find a lot of other great artists, other great songs, other great music there that you'll find that you'll enjoy as well. I'll see you next time right here on Face the Music. Take care.